Yeah, just 1A Mick here. Just going to go for a bit of a ride on the Braaap, but not to be. Started raining again, so it's been like all day. I've been doing work on this, been doing work on my mowers, getting all prepped. What I'm doing here is I'm putting a new tyre on the Braaap. 3,516 kilometres, that's all it's done. Hasn't missed a beat. Now what I'm doing is putting a Midas on it, which I got off Braaap. They sent it up. Now they assure me that this will fit on here. Looks like a good tyre to have on this. I think I might upgrade the rear shocks on it. And it is an Enduro rear, and it is a 130/80 17 and some Midas. And it's got this directional 130/70 17, 130/80 17. So this one here is a little bit higher profile, 130mm wide by 80mm wide, high by 17-inch rim. So what we're going to do, this SB Seblong made in China, as Trumpy says, made in China, is coming off, and yeah, we will see how we get on. I'll change this, see if it fits, and I will show you what it looks like when I get it on. Yeah, just me back again. Well, got the tyre off. Wide little rim. Actually quite good to work on. Had a problem getting the bead broken, because I haven't got a bead broken. I just changed tyres basically, effectively, just on an old dirt bike tyre. So the bead was a problem to get to pop. I think I will invest in a motorbike changing ring. So I used one at my mate's place the other day, and it was just that much easier. So just going to say here, this rim here is, this bike's 4 years old. Yeah, don't ride it much in the rain or anything. Hasn't done a lot of kilometres, 3,600. Don't use it much now. But it's a heavy little rim, steel, like what you get on your DT 175s and that sort of thing, your cheaper little trail bikes, little TDR 230s and little Hondas, the El Cheapo, you know, not the serious off-road stuff. Now this rim has not 1 ounce of corrosion on it. Spokes are immaculate. Tyres absolutely buggered. I've got a mate with, I won't say what sort of brand of motorcycle, dirt bike, a serious, extremely expensive dirt bike. I will say it's not Japanese dirt bike either. I will say that it wasn't a Yamaha or anything. But anyhow, extremely expensive 2016 or 2015? 2016, just sold it. And beautiful bit of kit. Both rims are absolutely buggered with corrosion. And this bike had never been on the beach or anything. Like he really looks after it. But I'm not saying that these are up to the punishment that you issue out to that bike, or what I'd issue out to me dirt bikes, but I'm not saying it's not a dirt bike. But all I'm saying is, I just can't see what the bad quality of these things are. That's heavy. I will give it's a heavy rim, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't, spokes never come loose. So you're going to see it back on this bike shortly. Yeah, so what I got going here, supplied by Braaap again. It's a Maxxis heavy duty tube. So, because I'm going to take this little thing up a few dirt bike tracks. So I've got a heavy duty tube because I've got a lot of suspension travel, so you don't want to get pinching ordinary little tubes. Now, I've geared this thing up a bit, so I've put a smaller back sprocket on it. Pretty well the smallest back sprocket. Hang on. No, sorry, it's a standard back sprocket. Put the biggest front sprocket I could on it. Now, 428 chain, 42 tooths marked on there. And it's a CHOHIO. 3,600 kilometres on that sprocket. Yeah, So all good. So wear rate's good. Just going to say too, losing some sweat. Got that to go on. That Maxxis tyre is very hard, so it's going to be interesting to see how the bead pops on it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've got sweat rolling out of me everywhere. Got the shirt off. Just don't need to see that. But this will keep you fit changing tyres all day. Certainly nothing. I'd want to start doing it almost 59 years of age. Yeah, just what a pig of a tyre to change. But guess what? Done. And I reckon it looks pretty smart. So what I've got to do, it's probably the tightest tyre I've ever changed. I had a mate, had one of these Midases. He used to run Midas Stone King on his KTM 530. Was it 2009 or 2010 model? I just can't remember now. But anyhow, he was an enduro rider. Dave Rosso is his name. He was a top level enduro rider in Queensland under 200cc. But anyhow, so I've got this Midas on. It's just picking up the edge of the chain here. Yeah, just on the edge of here, I can feel it rubbing. So I'll probably just have to get my slaughtering knives and just peel a tiny little bit off the edge of the knobby. Just get the knife and just run a little tiny bit off the edge just to stop it from rubbing. I had to take my chain guard off. Clearly I'm going to have to probably modify the chain guard or make one up just to suit. Probably just make one up actually, just out of a bit of plastic. Just come back here in here just because I don't want to butcher the original chain guard. So I'm not going to go on for too long here, so it feels a bit different. I end up having to get it up to about 80 pound to pop the bead out, and something I normally don't use. I had truck wash down on the bead, which I normally use to get it to pop, and I end up having to use WD-40 to get it to pop. It would not come out. Got one bead out, and you should have heard it. She went off like a cracker. She finally popped out. But so we'll see. This thing probably uprate me rear shocks, and maybe even change me back mudguard out a little bit, because I don't. Well, if it doesn't rub, I won't change it. But if it rubs, I'll have to. But it looks good. I really like the look of it, and I'll get it up a few little dirt tracks. But see, the thing is, I can just put a little mudguard out here, like a cafe racer, and just mount that light or another small light. But I actually quite like all this arrangement here and the reflector and that. I just like leaving things pretty standard. What else was I going to say? I'm thinking, whilst I'm at it, because I'm going to have to change that front tyre out before I wait that wears a bit more, but I'm thinking I might put a little mudguard up the top, just a little short one up here. Yeah, but yeah, she feels alright, so I've got to take a bit of a ride tomorrow, I think, because I haven't had it out for a good while, and I actually really do like this little bike. Now, it's done 3,600 kilometres, and I still haven't set the valves, and it starts and runs well. Twisted grip anyhow, something to, he's going for the world's fastest ST 250 Braaap. They reckon adjust them right from the word go, but it's never given me any trouble starting. And they reckon they have zero lash out of the factory. Well, I don't know if that's true, because you have an adjustment. That's what adjustments are for. But anyhow, I'm not going to sit there and argue about it. But look, I'm going to leave it at that. It's a pretty long video, and of my tyre changing. Oh, I know this woman. Of my tyre changing, so I'm going to leave it at that. You have a nice day. Treat your fellow humans nice. And hang on. Hang on, just leave it, that's when I make out.